Hey guys, this is Jason Klink here. I wanted to talk about taking a vested interest in your personnel or your team members as an organizational leader, department leader. Um, Having that vested interest in your personnel allows you to take advantage of any personal skill sets of their personnel. Also, creating a tiered level of development for your personnel allows you, as the overall leader of the organization, to develop your next set of leaders from within. So, what do I mean by that? If you look at military service or a paramilitary service like the fire service where I came from, there is typically a tiered level of leadership that happens. At the very bottom, you have the new onset people, the rookies, so to say, that are looking to be mentored and developed from those that are higher up in the tiers. Then you may have developing supervisors that are just above them that have a bit more experience underneath their belts, but they're still kind of learning the job or the mission of the organization. Therefore, they may not be to that supervisory level just yet, or they might not be interested in that supervisory level just yet. You have another tier of developing leaders that are showing serious supervisory and leadership skills that you're able to impress on them some of the lessons of the organization, lessons of the past that may or may not have benefited the organization, and hone in those leadership and supervisory skills in order to develop them as your next level of leadership within your organization. And then you have your top tier, who are the veterans or the most experienced people within your organization that overall have the experience to be able to pass on to the individuals, to the team, to the personnel that are tiered below them in order to motivate, educate, and make that vested interest in developing the leaders of tomorrow. One of the things that we took pride in within the fire service that I participated in was sharing information, developing those leaders that would ultimately take over for you, and to ultimately provide for the legacy of the organization. Because if for some reason you have a leadership strategy, a leadership model that's in place, and that all of a sudden ends. It ends with the top leader of the organization, or ends with a group of leaders in the organization. Maybe they move on, maybe they retire, but it ends. Now what? If you haven't taken the time to invest in your people and develop and cultivate from below, that legacy of that organization is going to be very detrimental to what how the staff, the team picks up the proverbial ball and runs with it. So it's taking pride in the organization as well. You got to have that pride, pride in the success of the organization. It should never be about an individual. Individual aspirations never really provide well for a team or a group. Decision making should be free within any tier that you might create as far as leadership within your organization. Somebody middle management or below should be just as free to develop a plan to implement throughout the organization, as well as the top guy or gal they may be running the organization. So that free flow of information, the free reign to develop a plan, to research a plan, and ultimately execute a plan should be able to come from any point. Because there may be some folks that may be lacking at the top or below, and that's where people in the middle bolster up the organization and hold up the organization with maybe a skill set that somebody else that's leading may or may not have. So just some tips, strategies, tactics as we go forward in time here that I wanted to share, that I had the benefit of. I ran a fire department. I was a fire chief of a fire department. I don't think I would have had any successes if it wasn't for those that came before me, those that educated me before me, or educated me before I got to the position I got to. The information they provided, the education they provided, and the experience sharing that they provided ultimately allowed me to learn from their successes and their mistakes, in order to develop my own skill set as a leader. So it's very important. If there's anything that I can do for you, don't hesitate to reach out. Please check out the website at jjkprofessionalservices.com, and feel free to connect with me there if there's anything at all I can do for you. With that, everybody have a great day and stay safe.